The next video. In today's video I will show you how to display the EU consent form for European countries before displaying ads from Google Admob in Flutter app. Now this video is only for iOS, Flutter iOS. I have already done it for Flutter Android, so if you are curious you can watch that video first for Android part. This is only for iOS, so yeah, let's get started. So first of all I will show you guys the output. So here, as you can see, I have two buttons. So one is show ad and second is show consent form. So sorry, I will just delete this app for now because this contains some the output won't be proper. Just delete it for now. Okay, and I will restart the app. I will reinstall the app. So as soon as the app loads, you would be able to see the consent form. So this is the consent form and it is only displayed for European countries, but I don't live in Europe, I live in Asia, so it is possible to show this form even though you live outside European countries. I will show you what changes you need to make, and this is only developer changes, like only for debugging changes or testing changes. While deploying it to prod, you need to remove those changes. I will show you it and show those changes in a bit. But here once the form is displayed, what I will do is that I will click on consent button over here. That means the user has given his permission to display ad. Now here you can see the ad has been loaded. I'm just printing it to the console, but you can do a better way, like create a variable or something. And now if I click on show ad button, I'm displaying the interstitial ad, but this can be any ad, like a banner ad or a native ad. Now what I'll do is I will again uninstall the application and I will click on do not don't provide the consent on the first go. Okay, so I'll just rerun the application, and here you should be able to see the consent form again. Now I will click on do not consent. Now suppose you have a feature in your app, like you want the user to support the developer so that the ads can be displayed. So what you can do is you can have one so I have created another button for this, but it can be anywhere in your app, like mostly it is in the settings screen. So once the user click on this show consent form, I am displaying this again, and once the user click on consent, then here you can see, you should be able to see, okay, the ad has been loaded. And now if I click on show ad again, here you can see the ad was displayed properly. So this is what it is. Next I will show you how to get the production ad units for Admob. Now while testing it, you should be using test ad units. This is only while you deploy it to production. So go to apps, create ad app, and here you can just click on iOS. I have not deployed it to Play App Store yet. Click on new. I will give some name, click add app. Okay, I'll click on done. Then here you can click on add unit. I will select interstitial, but if you're displaying any other ad, select that one. I will just write enter, create ad unit, and here you can see these are the production ad units. I'll click on done for now. If you want to link your app once you have deployed it to Play Store, you can go to app settings, and here you can click on the add button and add your URL for the app. Next what you'll have to do is, so I have written all the steps for creating the privacy policy. So click on add privacy policy. So firstly what you will have to do is you will have to add some privacy policy to your app as well. So maybe some web view or just inside your settings page you can add some privacy policy. So that is very important. So I won't do that in this video, because that is a simple basic thing which you can do it on your own. Then you will have to click on privacy and messaging. Then click create for European regulation. So I'll just click on create. Then we'll click create. Then we'll have to click on get started. So here you as you can see, they have mentioned that add a privacy policy to your app, so you can add that. Here I will just click on get started. then click create a European regulation message. So I'll just click on this, and here if you want, so here you can see this is the setup for it. If you want, you can change it, like the styling you can change it however you want to, the targeting you can change it however you want to, but yeah, I'll keep everything as default. But the important thing is you will have to select your app over here. So that's why I have created my app at the very first time, and I'll select my app. Also here you will have to add some URL, so make sure you add some URL as well. So for now I will just add https:// make sure you add a proper URL, maybe your website URL or your business URL, something like that. Okay, not Google, maybe codingwithnobody.com. Nobody.com. Okay, I'll click on save. I'll also make sure I will click this add unit deployment as well. Do I have to add privacy policy? Okay, add privacy policy in the do not consent, select on. Okay, I'll click on the I'll just make sure. I think the add unit deployment may be for production purposes, but yeah, for now I'll just keep it as off. I'll click on confirm, then select your app, add privacy policy and do not consent, select on. Okay, so here you will have to select on, then you will have to click publish. So just click publish, click OK. And also one thing to note is that once you, now I will show you later on in the output that how the consent form looks like, but once the user accept a consent, it only lasts for 1 year. That is the important part. So yeah, let's now move on to the demo part. As you can see, I have created my Flutter project, and what I have done is that I have created a variable whether ad can be shown or not. So the Google Admob SDK will only be loaded once the the user has accepted the consent screen. So for that I have created this variable. I have also created a method channel for calling the consent form as well as for displaying our ad, and this is the event channel for letting us know once the user has accepted the consent form. And in the init state we are listening for it, and once we are just updating the value once we get a proper event for it. And here I have created two buttons, one for displaying the consent form and one for displaying the Google ad, interstitial ad, or it can be any kind of an ad. And here inside the text I am just displaying the variable whether the ad was loaded or not. And here as you can see we are created method channel for displaying the consent as well as for showing the ad. For the first time the ad will be like the consent form will be loaded automatically as soon as the app is initialized. So I will show you that as well. So first what you will have to do is you will have to go to your iOS project inside Xcode. Next, if you want to use CocoaPods you can use that, but I am using Swift package manager, so I have just copy paste this URL over here and go to your project, go to file, add package dependency, and you can just paste the URL over here and click on add package. Just paste the URL something like this. Oh sorry, I have not copied the URL. I guess I will just copy this URL, paste it over here and click on add package, and it will install it for you. Next, what I have done is that inside app delegate, I will come back to the documentation later on. First I will show you all the code which I have written. So first you can see over here I have created this Swift file, and to be honest with you, like I have literally copy pasted it from the documentation. So I'll show you that in a bit as well, but all you need to understand is that this will help us to display the consent form to the user. And if you see over here I have added this debug settings. This should be used only for testing purposes. While deploying it to production you should comment this out. This is helpful because if you don't reside in Europe like me and you want to test the consent form, this will help you to test the consent form. So I'm forcing the geography to be and EU region, like the European country, and here we are just displaying the consent form. Okay, and nothing much. So yeah, that's what this is used for. Next, inside app delegate, I have created an event sync. Also I am extending flutter stream handler, and this is used for showing the interstitial ad. But if you are showing different type of ad, you can just follow the documentation. I'm just using interstitial ad just for sake of ease. And here you can see I have created view controller, as well as this is our network channel, and this is a variable for showing interstitial ad. And I also have created a variable whether the ads start called has been done or not. And inside did finish launching with option, we are first initializing our flutter controller, then we are also registering our event channel, and here we have created our method channel which we have defined it on the dart side. And here you can see there are two methods, one for show ad and one for show consent. And inside show ad we are just calling the interstitial variable which we have defined and calling the present method on it. And inside show consent we are displaying the form again in case the user rejects the form for the very first time when our app is initialized. And if the user accepts the form, we are again calling this load interstitial thing. Okay, and so this is the code for displaying the form as soon as the app is loaded. So this will help us to display the form, and if the user has accepted it, we also initialize our mobile ads SDK. And these two are from the event channel interface. So here you can see we are just initializing our variable to it, and this is used for initializing our mobile ad SDK, and it has to be called on the main thread. And similarly, this is the code for loading interstitial ad. This is a test ID, user production ID when deploying it to app store. And this is the code for deploying loading interstitial ad. But here you can see that I am sending a callback to the flutter side. Okay, the ad has been loaded. Now you can click on the show ad button to display the ad. And these are just helper methods which you have to, if you want, you can make use of it because we have implemented this. Also inside our info.p list, if you see, I have added this application identifier. Again, this is a test ID, user production ID. And here inside sk add network items, I have just added the Google one, but if you want, you can add more as well. So yeah, that's it for Flutter. Like, I will quickly show you the documentation as well. So we have already done this. Also, yeah, one more thing which I forgot is you will have to go to runner, go to targets. Inside build settings, you will have to search for other linker flags, and you will have to add -objc as well. So yeah, next we have also done this, but if you want to add other network identifiers, you can add that as well. Okay, and we are not initializing our ads SDK inside app delegate like instantaneously, because we want the consent from the user first. Next, here I have gone to the implement an interstitial ad, and here you can see we had just copy pasted this code for loading the interstitial ad, and this callbacks also we have defined inside our code. And for displaying the ad, we are using this. Okay, so that's I have already shown you. Now for displaying the consent form, you will have to go to user messaging platform, click on get started, and over here you will have to first, we have already installed like, you can, if you want, you can install again something like this, like using the Swift package manager. We already have this, or if you are using CocoaPods, you can use something like this. Next, what I have done, that I have literally went down, and here you can click on Swift, and from the Swift code you can copy paste this file, which I have literally copy pasted everything from over here. Also, the inside the, if you see in that particular repo, if you go to that view controller file, they will also show you how to use it. So all this code of this, as well as showing this form, has been copied from there. Also, one more thing which I want to tell you guys is that if you see, I have commented this code out. So this is privacy option required variable, which is from the consent manager, is helpful to hide this show consent button which we are displaying it over here. Okay, because this show consent will be only applicable for European countries. So if the user is not from Europe, you can send this callback again, just like we have sent this event sync. Once the ad is loaded, you can create some other stream handler as well for this particular is privacy option required or not. And if it is required, then you can maybe send it as true, visibility is true, otherwise visibility is false, something like that. But yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Bye.